Chipmaker Nvidia has become the first ever company to reach a market value of $5 trillion, reflecting investors' confidence in the future of artificial intelligence. What if the most powerful AI hardware company on Earth suddenly decided to climb into your pocket? Nvidia just became the first chipmaker to hit a $5 trillion valuation, thanks to the AI boom reshaping everything from chatbots to robots. Their chips train models like ChatGPT, power Hollywood effects, and even guide self-driving cars. But now, quiet rumors hint at a very different move. An AI device built not for data centers, but for your hand. If Nvidia jumps into mobile, the entire smartphone industry will have to change. That shift could happen faster than anyone expects soon. Nvidia's $5 trillion turning point. Nvidia's $5 trillion market milestone as a company is not just a financial headline. It marks the first time a chipmaker has climbed to that valuation and is a signal that the center of gravity in technology has shifted toward artificial intelligence. This company started as a graphics specialist, building chips so gamers could get smoother frames and prettier explosions. Over time, those same graphics processors turned out to be truly perfect for deep learning. Parallel cores meant they could crunch huge matrices far faster than traditional CPUs. That advantage let Nvidia move from the gaming desk to the world's most powerful data centers. Now their GPUs train language models, recommend your next movie, and help robots navigate warehouses. They snort power research labs, autonomous vehicles, and even some of the tools used to design new drugs. Investors see that momentum and are betting it will continue. So when a company like that quietly starts looking at what comes next, people pay attention. The question many are starting to ask is simple but huge. If Nvidia can dominate AI in server racks and cloud clusters, what happens when they aim at the one computer almost everyone owns already, the smartphone? That is where the idea of a pocket-sized Nvidia AI device begins to look less like science fiction and more like the logical next step. The silent war for mobile AI right now. There is a quiet war happening inside your pocket. The mobile AI arms race has begun. And the strange part is that Nvidia is hardly on the battlefield. Modern smartphones are more powerful than the supercomputers of 20 years ago, yet most of their so-called smart features still lean on faraway cloud servers. When you trigger a voice assistant, translate a sign, or clean up a photo, your phone often ships that data to a remote data center, waits for the result, and then shows you the answer. That means delay. It also means your private information leaves your device again and again, almost daily. Chipmakers know this is not ideal. That is why companies like Qualcomm with its Snapdragon line and Apple with its custom silicon and neural engine brag about on-device AI. Samsung, Google, and MediaTek are all racing to prove that their chips can run bigger models. Locally, instead of sending everything back to the cloud, they show demos of phones summarizing web pages, rewriting text, and generating images without a signal bar in sight. Each of these demos points to the same conclusion. The trend is clear. Whoever owns efficient on-device AI will own the next era of mobile computing. And sitting just outside this fight is Nvidia, the undisputed king of data center AI, watching as others battle over the silicon inside your phone. What true on-device AI really means. So what does true on-device AI actually mean in practice? Instead of your phone acting like a dumb terminal that keeps asking distant servers for help, it becomes a real brain in your pocket. Neural networks run directly on the chip, crunching billions of tiny calculations every time you speak, swipe, or take a picture. To do that, well, a processor needs to be built very differently from a normal CPU. It needs dedicated units for matrix math, clever ways to move data around the chip, and brutal efficiency so it does not melt your battery or your hand. This is exactly the kind of problem Nvidia has spent years solving inside massive GPUs. Their tensor cores are designed to push AI workloads hard while keeping performance per watt, improving each generation. Shrinking that knowledge into a mobile-friendly design would be difficult, but not impossible. If they cracked it, the result would feel very different from today's phones. Picture a camera that understands a scene as you frame it, not after the shot. Your phone could suggest angles, fix framing, and even remove distractions instantly. Voice commands could feel like talking to a person in the room, with no awkward lag or strange pauses. Real-time translation during face-to-face conversations, live video editing, and private AI assistants that never send your data away. All become everyday features when the intelligence lives on the device itself. Gaming DNA as Nvidia's secret weapon. There is another piece of this puzzle that almost no one can match Nvidia on, and that is gaming. Long before GPUs became the engine of modern AI, they were designed to push pixels, lighting, and physics for players who cared about every frame. That history created chips that were monsters at parallel work. In the AI world, that same strength lets a GPU blast through neural network operations. But mobile AI is also starting to lean on a different kind of chip, the custom ASIC or application-specific integrated circuit. Instead of being a general-purpose graphics engine, an ASIC can be tuned tightly around the math of machine learning, squeezing more useful work out of every watt. Qualcomm, Apple, and others are already building these into their processors, turning AI into a headline feature. Nvidia, however, has something the others do not. They have already shipped a wildly successful hybrid gaming device, the Nintendo Switch, powered by a custom Tegra chip. From that project, they learned how to balance heat, battery life, and performance in a small handheld form factor that people toss into bags and use for hours. Now, imagine a phone that takes those lessons further. A device with serious graphics power for native games, low latency hardware for cloud game streaming, and dedicated blocks for on-device AI. That kind of phone would not just play casual titles, it could blur the line between console and mobile gaming while also acting as a portable AI workstation in your pocket. Why cracking the phone market is so hard? Of course, none of this means Nvidia can simply decide to make a phone and win. The smartphone business is one of the toughest markets in all of technology. Building a powerful chip is only the starting point. You need factories and supply chains locked in months or years ahead. You need relationships with carriers, retailers, and online stores. The software has to be tuned so that thousands of apps do not crash, drain the battery, or overheat the device. Then there is customer support, repairs, logistics, and marketing. Profit margins on most phones are thin, unless you are Apple at the very top of the market. Even companies like Samsung and Google spend billions just to keep their flagship models visible in a crowded field. Fighting for attention on store shelves and social feeds. Jumping into that fight would mean Nvidia risking time, money, and focus, while its existing businesses are printing cash from data center AI and enterprise customers. Shareholders might ask why the company should pursue a risky new category, when selling high-end accelerators to cloud providers already brings in huge profits. The opportunity cost is real. Every engineer working on a phone is one not working on the next big GPU or AI platform. That is why for now, Nvidia has stayed cautious whenever smartphones come up in public conversations. Hype, reality, and the road ahead. So, what is real today, and what is just an exciting rumor? Nvidia has not announced a smartphone. They have not promised a mobile chip for mainstream handsets. Publicly, their focus is still on data centers, autonomous driving computers, and professional visualization. But if you look a little closer, you can see hints of how a move into mobile AI could happen. Music, their Jetson line of edge computing boards, already puts efficient AI hardware into robots, drones, and industrial systems, places where every watt and every gram matters. Each new GPU generation delivers more performance per watt, which is exactly the metric that matters in portable devices that live in your pocket or bag. And Nvidia does not need to launch a phone brand with its own logo to shape this space. They could license designs the way ARM does, partner with an established manufacturer to power a flagship device, or release a developer-focused handheld that shows what on-device AI can really do. Any of those moves would make waves across the industry and force rivals to respond. The bigger trend is clear either way. Intelligence is drifting from the cloud towards the edge. Phones, laptops, cars, and wearables are slowly becoming independent AI agents that do not always need a server to hold their hand. In that world, companies that build efficient AI chips will define the next decade. Nvidia already sits at the center of that story. The only open question is whether your next great Nvidia-powered AI device lives on a server rack or in the palm of your hand. So, here is where it all lands for you and me. Smartphones, as we know them, are starting to feel old. AI is the new engine, and everyone is racing to control it. Nvidia has the tools, the cash, and the developer army to change mobile forever if it chooses to step in. But will they risk it or stay safely in the cloud? Let me know in the comments where you think Nvidia is heading next, and whether you would actually buy an Nvidia AI phone. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please smash that like button, share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a future update. We've got a lot more exciting tech stories coming your way. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.